They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome to the quick cap guide for Glacial Maw. I'm going to be talking you through this dungeon as quickly as I can and simply. So, this is the first boss called Shigaroth. There will be a red AoE on the tank. The tank needs to move from this AoE or they will be punted into the air. A prime demonstration of derp there. There will also be a breath. The breath doesn't really do too much, but kind of the main thing you need to look out for is basically the boss is going to cast something called Biting Snowstorm. Everybody needs to keep on moving throughout the duration of this cast or they will take increased damage. During this cast, some adds are going to spawn called Forgotten Slayers. The tank needs to quickly round them up and most likely pop a cooldown. Shortly after the cast of Biting Snowstorm, there's going to be an ability cast called Dust to Dust. This will imprison the adds, making them explode after 8 seconds and deal a large amount of damage to the entire group. The healer wants to make sure everybody is topped up because after the adds explode in 8 seconds after that ability has been cast, then it's going to deal about 40 to 50k on everyone in the party, and anybody that's not topped up will die. So after that has gone off, then it pretty much is a repeat from the beginning of the encounter. It's just rinse and repeat those phases. So yeah, very easy fight to learn and master. Shouldn't take you more than a couple of pulls, providing you have a skilled tank that can quickly pick up the adds and a healer that can top up the group. You then move on to Apotheon, who by contrast is a much easier boss. Now he has basically a couple of very simple mechanics. Now he's going to basically summon moving ice shards towards a random player. Players just need to avoid these and run away from them. He's going to be constantly spawning a blue AoE at his location. This blue AoE deals a very small amount of damage and stares anybody inside. Just simply move out of it. He's also going to kind of randomly do a 360 cleave to anybody nearby him. This combined with kind of the blue AoEs that are constantly being dropped means that it's probably best if all DPS play ranged on this encounter. It's just a lot easier for them. The final thing that's going to happen is he's going to emote Let Me Think. All DPS need to run to a frozen geyser crystal, quickly kill it, then use the reactive to jump on the boss. DPS's concentration down, and boom, you can kill him. Very easy. So the third boss that you're going to fight is going to be called Toknoth. Again, a very easy boss. On the difficulty of kind of the second boss by far. Basically, you want all your DPS in a range spec. Melee is not a good idea here. All DPS need to do is nuke the boss. There are going to be adds, there are going to be eggs. Both of those can be completely ignored. Like, you have to do nothing when he devours because he heals for so little. Just continue to nuke the boss because it's just absolutely pointless trying to kill the eggs. Apart from that, he's going to drop a large kind of toxic AoE on the tank. The tank simply wants to move out of that. And there's also going to be a debuff called Impregnate placed on random players, which is going to deal a large amount of damage over 6 seconds. The healer just wants to be very reactive to this debuff. So as soon as you see it, you switch to that target, you chuck a couple of heals on them, and they're pretty much going to be fine. So it's a very easy boss to deal with. Just move out of the AoE, nuke the boss, and congratulations, you got another piece of free loot. So finally you have Cosmologist Man and the Heart of his Bifu. Now these are basically two kind of like bosses that you have to fight together. Now the tank, this is very important for the tank. You need to aggro both of them and hold aggro on both of them. So you kind of want to make sure you're in melee range of both of them and cleaving them down to ensure that you pick both of them up. Now that's very important. Now there are two things to kind of like interrupt in this fight. There's going to be one cast by the Cosmologist called Icy Grip. The tank should ideally focus on interrupting this. This is like the highest priority interrupt. If it's not interrupted, it will grip everyone in and deal a very large amount of ice damage. You will notice I do fail a couple of times to that interrupt in the video just because I want to show you guys what happens if you fail. Purely that reason. That was the reason. Anyway, also there's going to be a second interrupt on the heart. Ideally a DPS wants to grab this one. It's called Soulstorm and will deal increased damage on your group or raid. There it is. Just quickly pop an interrupt on the heart for that, and boom, you know, you make the healer's life a fair bit easier. Now, apart from that, there are going to be 2 other abilities to mainly look out for. So you can have Chilling Gaze, which is cast by Cosmologist Man, and this is basically like an AoE blue laser that will follow a select player around, and there is also going to be a large blue safe zone, which you may have seen several times in this fight already. So when that large blue circle spawns, you need to run to it very, very quickly, because 1, it is going to save you from getting killed by Frostbite, which is a big AoE the Cosmologist Man does, and 2, it is going to provide you with a hefty damage increase buff. And you know, who doesn't love more damage? And the answer to that is nobody. Nobody doesn't love more damage. Well, maybe the healer, but you know, the healer can still do a bit of damage as well. There's also going to be a poison flung out kind of randomly by the heart. You're going to see it's interruptible, but you don't really want to waste your interrupts on that, as you might as well just save them all for Cosmologist Man Icy Grip, because that one is like, you know, pretty damn lethal if it does go off, especially if your healer isn't the best. Apart from that, it's a fairly easy fight, guys. Just nuke whatever can be currently damaged, and congratulations, you've won the game and thus cleared Glacial Maw. If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will happily answer what I can. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely great day.